creating good habits that will bring you success takes systems. And to create a habit and a system takes a whole lot of practice.
You're listening to Living Beyond with Hope. Hey, that's me.
Welcome to the podcast. This podcast is meant to help you realize you're more than a label, and you too can create a life you love despite it. Each week, we bring you tips and inspiring messages to help you take the positive steps in your health that will allow you to live beyond. Now sit back, relax, meal prep, or take a walk as you dig into today's topic with your host, a gal living her life to the fullest with type 1 diabetes, Hope Mangiafico.
Today we're talking about a morning routine for a balanced day, no matter what label you have. Now, this morning, I didn't sleep that well, and I was like, I'm going to do a video about sleep and how important it is. And then I decided that having a morning routine is what has brought me success, and having that morning routine even when it's the weekends, like a Saturday. And just explain my morning routine, and whether you catch this now or you catch this later, it doesn't matter because it ain't going anywhere and you can learn about it at your convenience. I have type 1 diabetes. That's my label. However, I have learned how to live beyond. I have learned how to live beyond my label to live the life that I have wanted, and I've created the life that I've desired. I feel normal, I have energy, and I'm happy with my life, and I teach other people how to do that. So, teaching other people how to live beyond starts with how you start your day. And I can't take credit for this. I can take credit for how my morning routine is because it's been a long journey. But the idea that really kind of started making me think about it comes from Brendon Burchard, if you've ever heard of him, as well as someone that I consider a mentor, Chalene Johnson. So how you start your day is super significant for the rest of your day, obviously, and how to predict how the rest of your day is going to be. So I first want to just show you what my morning looks like, and not like I'm going to take you through my whole day, but just the beginning, and then explain how these habits let me live beyond my diabetes, and how, like, just because I have this label on me, this diagnosis, or whatever you may be living with, whether that is an actual diagnosis or it's a self-label that you've put on yourself, which, we all do that. So I think this could be applicable to anyone, but this is how to be sure that that does not bring you down. So here's my morning routine. Every morning, I wake up by 6 a.m., 6:15 maybe, depending on the night before. When I got a lot of ideas flowing for Hopeful Health, it can be kind of a late night sometimes, but I wake up by 6 a.m. The minute I get up, I check my blood sugar, and that is not a big deal to me because 9 times out of 10, I'm happy with the number. My numbers have been very stable, and it's been amazing. So, I don't consider that a burden, and you have to remember that whether you have a label that kind of consumes you a little bit, or because diabetes can be consuming, but if you have a label that requires you to take medication or anything like that, dude, just do it and know that there's certain habits that you can create that can help limit the amount of meds you need or limit those types of things. So I check my sugar, and then I go straight to the bathroom to splash my face with water, nice cold water. And that immediately is my body is all right, let's get rocking. If I skip that step, it's pointless. I'm still so tired, my eyes are heavy, and we don't have time to start our day off tired. Oh, speaking of that, totally forgot. So at 6 a.m., when my alarm goes off, as I'm getting out of bed, I say a positive thought. And I'm not saying Hope, you're awesome, you're gonna kill today, but I do say today's gonna be a good day. And I didn't used to do that. And when I didn't do that, I noticed, looking back, my days were not good. And there's a multitude of things that can be factored in as to why I've had better days over the past few months than I used to. But it's about mindset, and everything starts with your mind. And why not start your day off with the correct mindset? It just makes sense. So I wake up, I say, Hope, it's going to be a good day. My feet hit the floor, and I'm off. I'm ready to go. So then I splash water on my face, and I'm like, woo, that feels good. And I take my dog out. So I got that fresh like water on my face, and then I step outside. And depending on the weather and the day, and I've talked about this before, but like taking my dog outside right away used to be like a chore, like a dreaded thing that I hated to do. But now like that fresh air right in the morning is like affirmation of like, yeah, it's going to be a really good day. And that positivity that just like fresh air and cold water brings is kind of weird, but it works. So I do that, and then I come back in, and I have, let me make sure I'm going in the right order because I know it, but I want to make sure. I have two things that I do. I either do a quiet time, and this specifically is related to something I learned from Brendon Burchard. So like having that quiet time, whether you're a person of faith or if you just need some time to meditate or to yourself, that helps because it helps you prevent you from jumping straight into the day. Because I am not saying that your life isn't stressful. I am not saying that your diagnosis or your label doesn't make life stressful, because I get it, like it totally can. But if you can extend that morning time for as long as possible to be as peaceful as possible, it's going to be awesome. So doing quiet time where I spend some time doing that, or personal development. And I'm a big advocate of personal development. It's incredible. And if you don't do personal development, I would encourage you to start your day off with some podcasting and just do a search for like what you love. Like if you like kind of how I talk, and if you kind of like affirmation or you like positive feedback, there's things like that are on podcast. Or if you are an entrepreneur like myself, there's, oh my God, such good podcasts for that. Or there's great podcasts for health stuff. So starting your day off with that. And while I'm doing that, I'm drinking my Bulletproof coffee. And I don't know how many people in here have heard of Bulletproof, but I'm a big advocate of eating high fat, low carb. And a lot of it has to do with how our bodies respond to most carbohydrate foods that are carbohydrates, and just how our world currently is, and specifically the US, is not producing very high quality carbs, and we don't want to fall under that radar. So I have my Bulletproof coffee, and that just like, woo, is like magic for me. So I put that, it's like coconut oil / MCT oil, and a little bit of ghee or butter, and sometimes a coconut milk. And after that, I have my Ionics, and this is something new, and I'm only mentioning it because this is what I do in the mornings, and it's helped me. I think I'd be successful without it, with being strong and powerful and greater than my label, and like living beyond and living the life that I want. But I take the Ionics too because it helps keep me focused. And holy cow, since I started that, like my focus on like what I have planned has been like outrageously awesome. So I do that. I fuel my body with amazing knowledge. I fuel my body with correct food. And then that is where I'm going to draw the line there for what my morning is, because that's enough for you. And that's like, gosh, what is that? That's not even like 7:30. And all that's done, and it's just like, nothing's going to bother me. You know, my diabetes might not go smoothly, but I've had a really awesome morning. So, you know, I think I can handle any negativity that comes my way a little bit better. And I'm telling you, that has been the truth for me. Now, let me say, now we're going to go back through those super quickly and explain like why I do some of these things. So I wake up early saying something good to myself because it is super powerful. And I want to tell you that to do that, it doesn't happen overnight. It has been something that I've been trying to be mindful of for a really long time. And I've only started recently implementing it. And it has completely changed my thought process. And so with that being said, I want to say, don't write it off if it doesn't feel like it's working, if you keep forgetting, so then you feel like a failure. You're not a failure. It takes practice. It takes work. And that's okay. Like, you're not a failure. So don't forget that. And just keep every day going at it, because creating good habits that will bring you success takes systems. And to create a habit and a system takes a whole lot of practice. But if this is going to be the very first part of your day, when your feet hit the floor, we have got to master that. So that is super important. And then the thing with like the water, you don't have to do that. But if there's something that can kind of like really kind of, it's not a shock, like you're getting dumped in a bucket of ice, but it surprises your body. Your body's like, whoo, I'm ready. So if you can think of something that will do that for you, I promise that like if you're like really not a morning person, it's super hard for you to get up and be energized, then that works. It really does. And I just think it's the coolest thing ever. And then again, with the quiet time and personal development, it relaxes your body. And a lot of us, including myself, and currently I have kind of broken this habit, but we're kind of like workaholics. And when you're a workaholic, you go straight to your laptop or like your phone. That's like the worst. Everyone goes to their phone. So if you can extend that face to computer time for as long as possible, you're going to be at such like more peace than you probably ever even could realize that you're able to do. So just remember that these things will better you and help you have a balanced day, which means your priorities will be straight, your health will be good, your stress will be good, your life will be wonderful. And that is the key here. With the Bulletproof Coffee and the Ionics, just remember, and this is going to be a different topic for another one of my daily habit kind of conversations, but fuel your body with something that's going to sustain you in the long run and benefit you for not just 5 minutes, but for 50 years down the road. No matter what your age is, like if you're already 50, fuel yourself every morning with something that's going to let you live past 100. And that's all I have to say about that one. So as you do this, I'm wrapping it up here. As you do this each day, you'll begin to see a shift in your mindset and in how you think and your attitude and your positivity. And it will happen just naturally, but you have to be adamant about it. And you'll no longer think about how bad your day could be or may be or will be because of your label, because of your situations. You won't do that anymore. And I promise you that this stuff works. And I was like, I have to share this on a Saturday when no one's probably watching. I have to share that because it has completely changed me. And instead of thinking of how dreadful your label has made your life, it will make you more confident and more proud of who you are and all the things that you accomplish. That's it. Keep killing it. Keep living beyond and realizing your purpose and how great of a person you are. All right, I'll see you later. Bye.
Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. It means the world to me to be able to serve you and help you live beyond. If you found today's episode helpful or beneficial or share-worthy, I would love a review in iTunes. A review in iTunes allows me to know what was helpful and allows us together to continue to change lives and help other people live beyond their diagnosis or label. And if you did find this share-worthy or helpful, be sure to subscribe to this podcast. If you're on an Apple device, you can go to the podcast app or the iTunes store and type in Living Beyond with Hope, and there you can subscribe or listen to other episodes. When you subscribe, this allows you to know when there's a new podcast released. If you're on an Android device, no worries, I got you. All you have to do is download the Stitcher app and search for Living Beyond with Hope there and subscribe there. You can also go to www.livingbeyondwithhope.com if you would like to listen to the episode again, if you would like to see the show notes and any links that were mentioned in this episode. Today's episode was also brought to you by my Living Beyond the Label audiobook. If you enjoyed this and you like hanging out with me in your ear, then you would love to get your hands on this audiobook. It helps us together strategize your best and most balanced life. If you want to learn more about it and to get your hands on the audio and the worksheets that go with it, you can go to www.mybalanceplan.com. The link is also in the show notes, and there you'll be able to start strategizing your best life. Have an amazing rest of your day, and remember to keep living beyond.